Hello everybody, welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Adrada, and in this particular session I am back with a very important notification that has been published recently for the Assistant Commandant post by the Indian Coast Guard. So in this particular session we are going to discuss about this particular notification, what it is all about, how you can apply for this particular entry. So let's start with what the Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant Notification 2/2023 batch is all about. Now, if you don't know, the Indian Coast Guard is an armed force of the Union, and it is offering a challenging career to young and dynamic Indian male or female candidates for various branches as Assistant Commandant Group A Gazetted Officer. So this is a golden opportunity for those of you who want to be an officer in the Indian Coast Guard. Both male and female candidates can apply for this particular entry. Now, the registration for the online application for the ICGAC, that is Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant 2023 batch, is now open. The notification was published on 17th of August 2022, and from 17th August 2022 itself the registration is now open. So now you can apply for this particular entry. The last date to submit the online application for this entry will be 7th of September 2022. So what you need to do is visit the Indian Coast Guard's official website, which is www.joinindiancoastguard.cdac.in. In this particular website, if you go, you'll find the registration link, and once you get yourself registered, you can start filling up the online application form for the Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant 2023 batch. So now let's check out the different vacancies that Indian Coast Guard is aiming at to fill through this particular entry. Now, for the post of general duty, there are 7 vacancies to be filled up from the scheduled caste, that is SC category. 4 vacancies are allotted for the ST, that is scheduled tribe category. 14 vacancies for the OBC. 3 vacancies for the economically weaker section, that is EWS. 22 vacancies for the unreserved category, that is the general category. So total for the general duty and the CPL SSA. Now these 7 for SC, 4 for ST, 14 for OBC, 3 for EWS and 22 for UR. These vacancies are applicable for both general duty and CPL SSA posts. So total there are 50 vacancies to be filled up for both the GD and CPL SSA course. Now talking about the technical entry, which is for the engineering and electrical branch. For that, the number of vacancies allotted for the SC is 3, for ST it is 2, for OBC it is 5, for EWS it is 1, and for the general category, that is unreserved category, there is 9 vacancies. So in total for the technical branch there are 20 vacancies. Now from law there is only 1 vacancy which is allotted for OBC. So in total in law, now no SC, no ST, no EWS or the general category can apply for the law post. It is only only provided for the OBC. So there is only 1 vacancy, that too from the OBC category in the post of law. Now in total, if you calculate, you will see that there are nearly 71 vacancies that is to be filled up with the ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant 2023 batch. Now the vacancies that we have discussed right now are tentative, and it may change depending on the availability of the training slots. Okay, now if there is any update regarding the changes, we will obviously let you know. Now we will talk about the eligibility criteria, which is very important for this particular entry. And as you all know, for the different branches there are different eligibility criteria as per the age limit, gender as well as educational qualification. So we will discuss the age, gender and educational qualification criteria for each of the branches. Make sure that you are noting them down and checking your eligibility as clearly as possible. Now we will first start with the general duty, that is the GD branch. Now for that, the age limit should be, that is the date of birth should be between 1st July 1997 and 30th June 2001, both dates inclusive. So your date of birth should be between these 2 dates, and it can also be on either of these dates. However, 5 years relaxation are provided for personnel who are serving in Coast Guard or equivalent personnel in Army, Navy or Air Force. Okay, only male candidates can apply for this particular branch, that is general duty. Talking about educational qualification, you should hold a degree of a recognized university with minimum 60% aggregate marks. That means you should have a graduation degree at least, and you should have a 60% aggregate marks in that degree. Also, you should have mathematics and physics as subjects up to intermediate or class 12 of 10 plus 2 plus 3 scheme of education. So in your plus 2 level, you have to check whether you had mathematics and physics. Okay, so if you had, then obviously you are eligible, or equivalent with minimum 55% aggregate marks in mathematics and physics. So you have to also check whether you had these two subjects, maths and physics, in your plus 2 level. If you had also, there you also have to check whether you have got the aggregate marks of 55%, okay, in these two subjects. However, the candidates who have completed graduation after diploma are also eligible, provided they should possess an aggregate of 55% marks in diploma with physics and mathematics in its curriculum. So these are very important educational criteria which you need to check. Now coming to the next branch is commercial pilot license, that is CPL SSA. Okay, now for this, your date of birth should be between 1st July 1997 and 30th June 2003, and both dates are inclusive in this case. So please check your date of births. Again, you can be born between any dates between 1st July 1997 and 30th June 2003, or also in either of these two dates. Now in this particular branch, both male and female candidates can apply. Talking about educational qualification for the commercial pilot license SSA branch, you should have passed 12th class or equivalent with physics and mathematics as subjects with minimum 55% aggregate marks in mathematics and physics. So this is a compulsion. The candidates who have completed diploma are also eligible, provided that they should possess an aggregate of 55% marks in diploma with physics and mathematics in its curriculum. So even if you're a diploma candidate, you're also eligible, provided that you had maths and physics and you should have scored 55% aggregate marks in both the subjects. Also, now this is an added qualification that you should need. You should also possess current commercial pilot license issued or validated by the Director General Civil Aviation on the date of submission of application. So those coming for the CPL SSA branch, you should also have compulsorily the commercial pilot license. Now talking about the next branch is technical, which is mechanical branch. For this, your date of birth should be between 1st July 1997 and 30th June 2001. Again, both the dates are inclusive in this case. 5 years relaxation are provided in this particular branch for personnel serving in the Coast Guard. Talking about the gender, only male candidates can apply for this particular branch. Now we will look into the educational qualification. Please note the qualification criteria very carefully. For this branch, you should hold an engineering degree of recognized university in naval architecture or mechanical or marine or automotive or mechatronics or industrial and production or metallurgy or design or aeronautical or aerospace. Okay, so there are a lot of choices which have been given to you. If you have the engineering degree in either of these streams, you are eligible, provided that you have scored a minimum 60% aggregate marks in your stream. Okay, or, now there's an or, that means either you should have engineering degree with 60% aggregate in these streams, or you should have an equivalent qualification in any of the above disciplines recognized by the Institutes of the Engineers India as exempted from section A and B and their associate membership examination AMIE. Okay. Now, not only this qualification, you should also have mathematics and physics as subject up to intermediate or class 12 of 10 plus 2 plus 3 scheme of education or equivalent with minimum 55% aggregate marks in both the subjects of maths and physics. Candidates who have completed graduation after diploma are also eligible, provided they should possess an aggregate of 55% marks in diploma with physics and mathematics in its curriculum. Okay, so these two qualifications are compulsory. However, there's an or between these, the first qualification, which I think you should check it out again if you want to. Now we will move on to the next branch, which is technical, and it consists of electrical or electronics branch. Okay. Now for the age limit for this branch, it should be between 1st July 1997 and 30th June 2001. Your date of birth should be between these two dates and also inclusive of these two dates, right? However, a 5-year relaxation is also provided in this branch for those personnel serving in the Coast Guard. Talking about the gender, only male candidates can apply for the technical branch. And again, we will look into the educational qualification very importantly. You should hold an engineering degree of recognized university in electrical or electronics or telecommunication or instrumentation and control or electronics and communication or power engineering or power electronics. Okay, so in either of these disciplines you should have an engineering degree with minimum 60% aggregate marks, or you should have equivalent qualification in any of these disciplines recognized by the Institutes of the Engineers India as exempted from section A and B and their associate membership examination, AMIE. Now coming to the second qualification which you should have is mathematics and physics as subject up to intermediate or class 12 of 10 plus 2 plus 3 scheme of education or equivalent with minimum 55% aggregate marks in maths and physics. Candidates who have completed graduation after diploma can also apply provided that they should possess an aggregate 55% of marks in diploma with physics and maths in their curriculum. Okay, so more or less the qualifications are same in all the branches, but there are certain differences which I think you are noting down very carefully. Coming to the last branch is law entry. Now for this, your age limit should be between 1st July 1993 and 30th June 2001. Please note down the date of births, 1st July 1993 and 30th June 2001. And both dates are inclusive in this case also. Again, 5 years relaxation are also provided for personnel serving in Coast Guard or equivalent personnel in Army, Navy, Air Force. In this branch, both male and female candidates can apply. What you need to have is a degree in law from a recognized university with minimum 60% aggregate marks. So here it is completely different. For law people, you don't have to have maths and physics in your 10 plus 2, but you should compulsorily have a law degree from a recognized university with 60% aggregate marks. Now, for the short service appointment, that is SSA, as assistant commandant, it's for a period of 8 years, which may be extended to 10 years and further extendable up to 14 years. So this is applicable only for the CPLSSA, okay, and not to any other branch. Now we will move on to the next part of this session is the additional eligibility criteria, which you should also check for the ICGAC 2023 batch. Now the candidates who have integrated post-graduation can also apply for this particular entry provided that they should have a certificate issued by the respective institution or university certifying that the candidate has passed the qualifying degree with a percentage or class as a part of the integrated post-graduation course and that the candidate is eligible for award of graduation degree. So you could also have your degree in integrated post-graduation, but you should also have these criteria to be taken into consideration. Also, the upper age relaxation of 5 years is given for SC or ST and 3 years for OBC non-creamy layer candidates if is applicable only if posts are reserved for them. So you have to check the vacancies obviously. So if the vacancies are available for you, then you can obviously opt for those branches provided and that you will also get an age relaxation of 5 years for SC, ST candidates and 3 years for OBC non-creamy layer. Now, maximum 5% relaxation in aggregate in the degree certificate for SC/ST is also provided. However, no relaxation is applicable for the 12th class marks except the CPL SSA entry. So please note it very carefully that no exception, no relaxation is made for the 12th class marks for any branch except the CPL SSA branch. However, a 5% relaxation is provided in the degree aggregate certificate for SC and ST candidates. Okay, that you have to take into consideration. For the EWS category, now there is also vacancy which is reserved for the economically weaker sections, right? So for that, if you are applying for the economically weaker section category, you should also contain an income certificate for the EWS as per the Government of India format. No other format will be entertained. Government of India format will be entertained, and related regulations have to be followed. And in that way, if you can provide an income certificate for the EWS, you are very well free to apply under that category as well. Indian Coast Guard has the discretion to fix qualifying marks in any or all of the subjects of the examination. Okay, so their decision will be the last decision. Now, candidates who are studying in the final year or the final semester degree course and are yet to pass the final year degree examination can also apply. So those of you must be thinking that I'm in the final year and I want to apply. Will I be eligible? Yes, you are very well eligible. But again, there are certain considerations you have to make. You should not have any backlog. Please note this down. You can apply for this particular entry if you're in the final year or the final semester of your degree, provided that you do not have any backlogs and that you have secured a minimum 60% marks up to the last semester or year for which the results have been declared up to the time of submission of application. Okay, that you also have to show. Also, after you have passed the degree, you need to also submit the proof of passing your degree examination by 30th May 2023. Which is basically next year. So keeping all these things in mind, you are very much free to apply for this particular entry, even if you are in the final year or semester of your degree course, right? Now, candidates withdrawn on disciplinary grounds from any other service training academy are not eligible to appear. Candidates should not have been arrested, convicted, or prosecuted on criminal charges. If there is no vacancy for SC, ST, OBC, non-creamy or the economically weaker section category candidates, in such case, reserved category candidates can apply as unreserved. However, they will not be eligible for any age and passing marks concession or relaxation. So if there is no vacancy for the reserved category, you can obviously apply for the unreserved category, but in that case, you won't get any kind of relaxation or concession that you have been getting as the reserved category. Okay, so this you have to keep in your mind. Now, we will move on to the next part, but before that, let me tell you that we have provided an SSB interview online course, which is the best course in the entire market. As you all know that you have to appear for the SSB interview and you have to get recommended, only then will you be able to join the academy. So for that, this is the most important part of your selection procedure, because many candidates feel a bit nervous about this particular interview, which is the second most difficult interview in the country, obviously because the interview process is held for 5 days. Now, what we have done is that SSB Crack Exams has given you this opportunity to be a part of our SSB interview online course, where many candidates have already got recommended by getting themselves enrolled into this course. We have covered each and every testing procedures of SSB from day 1 to day 5 in full-fledged lectures, PDF study materials, and also the practice sets. So what you can do is take the help of those important practice materials and start your preparation, obviously, for the SSB interview. Not only that, you can also be a part of a live interactive classes for SSB interview, which takes place regularly and in the form of monthly batches. So what you need to do is simply download our SSB Crack Exams Learning app from the Google Play Store and get yourself enrolled into SSB interview online course. So now moving on to the next part of the session is how the selection is being done for this particular entry. So the first part is called stage 1. So the first stage consists of screening test. Here you need to appear for the computer based examination, which will be conducted at various centers all over India. The screening test, also called CGCAT, is to be conducted for candidates applying for the posts of GDCPL and technical, that is mechanical, electrical and electronics. This screening test will be conducted in MCQ pattern with a maximum marks of 400. So the total marks for this CGCAT is 400, where 100 questions will be asked of you, where each question will have 4 marks. So for every correct answer, you will score 4 marks. There is a negative marking also. So for every incorrect answer, you will lose 1 mark. Okay. So in total, you have to answer 100 questions for 400 marks. The duration of CGCAT will be of 2 hours and the medium of instruction will be in English. So this is the most important instruction that you need to follow. Now I will be also sharing with you the marks, the question pattern, as well as the subjects that you need to study for the CG CAT exam and for different branches. So the first section will be for the GD or the CPL SSA entry. So for this section 1, you will have subjects like English, reasoning and numerical ability, general science and mathematical aptitude, and general knowledge. So here you can see that 4 sections will be asked in your paper, in your examination. That is called section 1, and this will be for the GD and as well as the CPL SSA branch candidates. So for the English, there will be 25 questions asked. For reasoning and numerical ability, 25 questions will also be asked. 25 questions will also be asked from general science and mathematical aptitude as well as for general knowledge. Okay, so in total you can see nearly 100 questions are asked from these 4 sections. Duration of this exam will be 2 hours. Talking about section 2, which is obviously reserved for the mechanical entry only. Here also you will be asked from 4 plus 1 sections. So 5 sections in total will be asked of you, which is again English, reasoning and numerical ability, general science and mathematical aptitude, and general knowledge, plus 1 special section which will be completely based on the knowledge of mechanical engineering. Right now, here again, for each and every sections, 10 questions will be asked. So 10 questions will be asked from English, from reasoning and numerical ability, from general science and mathematical aptitude, and general knowledge. However, 60 questions will be asked from the 5th section, that is from mechanical. Okay, so you can see obviously again total 100 questions are being asked for the mechanical entry people. For the 3rd section, which is reserved for electrical and electronics entry, again 5 sections will be asked of you. First section will be English, second will be reasoning and numerical ability, third will be general science and mathematical aptitude, fourth is general knowledge, and the fifth is will be electrical and electronics. So again 10 questions will be asked from the first 4 sections, namely English, reasoning and numerical ability, general science and mathematical aptitude, and general knowledge, and 60 questions will be asked from the 5th paper, which is electrical and electronics. So again 100 questions will be asked for the electrical and electronics people as well. So for each and every examination, the duration is 2 hours. So I hope that you've understood the difference. For the GD and CPL SSA candidates, only 4 sections will be asked, and these 4 sections will be common for the mechanical as well as for the electrical and electronics candidates as well. The only difference is that for mechanical entry, a 5th part will be asked, which will consist of only mechanical, and for the electrical and electronics paper will be asked, questions will be asked, which will also consist of the 5th section. Okay, and the number of questions will also differ. For the section 1, that is for GD and CPL SSA entry, 25 questions will be asked from each of the section. For both mechanical as well as electrical and electronics entry, 10 questions will be asked from the first 4 sections, whereas from the special section, which is mechanical and electronics, 60 questions will be asked. So this is the overall marks, question distribution as well as marks distribution, right? I hope that is absolutely understood. Now we will move on to the next part of the selection procedure. So after this, once you have sat for your computer based examination, which consists of the CG CAT, which is the stage 1 procedure, once you get qualified in CG CAT, you will be called for the stage 2 procedure, which is basically preliminary selection board or PSB. Now based on your performance in the stage 1, which is CG CAT exam, you will be shortlisted for appearing in stage 2, that is the preliminary selection board or PSB, which will be conducted for only 1 day at Noida, Mumbai or Goa, Chennai and Kolkata centers. So in these 4 cities, it can be conducted. Candidates will be screened through the computerized cognitive battery test, which is CCBT, and picture perception and discussion test or PPDT. The CCBT will be in English only and will be consisting of objective type questions. In PPDT, the candidates are expected to speak and discuss in English. However, they are free to speak in Hindi if they wish to do so. The stage 2 examination is only of qualifying nature, that is either pass or fail. So you have to just qualify. There is no marks or scores involved in the stage 2, that is the PSB procedure. Now once you get qualified, that is once you have passed the stage 2 or the PSB, you will be called for the stage 3, which is FSB, or final selection board. Now after you are shortlisted from stage 2, you will be intimated of your FSB, that is the final selection board center as well as date, through your login ID. Okay, you have to check through your login ID whether you are eligible, whether you are shortlisted for the stage 3 or not. And then you have to bring e-admit card for the stage 3, which will be obviously available through the ICG website. Now, FSB is conducted at the Coast Guard Selection Board, CGSB, located at Noida, and it spans over a period of 5 days. Here, you will be subjected to psychological tests, group tasks, interview, or personality tests. The board conference will be held on the last day, and after that you will be known whether you are recommended or not. So once you are recommended, you have qualified the stage 3 procedure, and now you are going to go to the stage 4, that is the medical exam procedure. Now the FSB, or the final selection for the ICGAC 2 2023 batch, will be held from February or April 2023. Now, once you have qualified stage 3 or recommended in FSB, you will now have to appear for the medical exam, which is the stage 4 procedure. And here you have to undergo a special medical examination at the base hospital, New Delhi. Now, after you are declared medically fit in this particular exam, that is stage 4, you will be going to the stage 5, which is your induction process. Now, you will stand in All India merit list as per the vacancies available, and you will be provisionally selected for training and will be required to report at INA Azimala for a 22-week naval orientation course, or NOC, as per the instructions. All India merit list will be based on combined marks of stage 1 and stage 3 procedures. Okay, I hope the entire selection procedure is quite clear to you. Now, if you are worried about how to qualify in stage 1 and then how to qualify stage 2 as well and stage 3 as well, do not worry at all. We have already provided the SSB interview course. Basically, it consists of both the procedures of PSB and FSB. So you just need to get yourself enrolled into our SSB online course and start your preparation from today itself. Now, the next question that may arise is how to apply for the Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant 2 2023 batch. Very simply, all the process is an online process. So the application will be accepted only through online mode, and it has already opened from 17th August 2022 11 am, and it will close on 7th of September 2022 at 5:30 pm. So I would suggest you to just fill your application form and submit your online application as soon as possible. Also, you should visit the Indian Coast Guard's official website, which is www.joinindiancoastguard.cdac.in. Once you're in their website, you have to use your own email ID or as well as your mobile number to get registered. Also, make sure you're not changing this email ID or mobile number until and unless your selection procedure is over. Now, the next thing which you need to consider is you have to apply for only one post, right? Not all posts, but only one post you have to select and apply. So either you can select Assistant Commandant GD or Assistant Commandant Tech Engineering, or Assistant Commandant Tech Electrical or Electronics, or Assistant Commandant CPL SSA, or Assistant Commandant Law. Any of the branches you have to choose and apply. Okay, you cannot apply for all the branches. Last but not the least is the tentative dates, which have been already published in the official notification by the Indian Coast Guard. And you can see that for GD, CPL SSA, Technical Engineering, Technical Electrical and Electronics, the stage 1 will be done in November 2022. Stage 2 will happen somewhere in December 2022. Stage 3 will take place in February to April 2023. Stage 4 will take place also in February to April 2023. And stage 5 will take place at the end of June 2023. Now, for law, this is very important. For law, you don't have to appear for the stage 1, but you have to appear from the stage 2. So there's a small change for those who are appearing for the or who want to apply for the law entry. You don't have to appear for the stage 1, but you have to appear from stage 2 onwards. So the dates will remain more or less the same. So stage 2 will happen in December 2022 for law candidates. Similarly, stage 3 and stage 4 will happen in February to April 2023, and stage 5 process will be there in end of June 2023. So I hope that this session is quite useful for you. You have got to know each and every detail about the Indian Coast Guard Assistant Commandant entry notification, which has been published by the ICG. I would suggest you that please start your application process as soon as possible. Also, if you want to take subscription to our SSB interview online course 2022 for 1 full year, because maybe you have a lot of SSB interviews lined up throughout the year and want to keep yourself updated and give your very best performance in all SSBs, please make sure that you're also applying for the 1 1 year full access to the SSB interview online course through our app. Also, do not forget to check out the range of courses that we have provided for different written defense exams as well as for SSB interview through our app itself. Last but not the least is to use the code warrior10 to get an extra 10% discount on any of the courses. So that was it from my side. I hope that this particular session is quite informative to you and that you will start your preparation as soon as you have filled the application form for the ICG AC entry. Now, I will see you next with something more interesting and more helpful as well as informative for your upcoming written defense exams as well as for your SSB interview. Till then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams and always stay positive and motivated. Jai Hind.